to a brand new episode of Sequel Rights, the podcast where we take a look at the franchises that make you go, they made how many of those? And we give each and every sequel a fair trial. My name is Justin Camps, and I'm here with...
Elizabeth Helly.
And...
Tyler Hymanson.
Welcome, you guys. Welcome. We're so glad to have you on this Species 3 Special Edition Platinum episode.
Yep. The shiniest, the greatest, the hugest.
Yeah.
Species 3.
Yep. We're coming in a little bit late here, but that's because we have been wasting all of our time at Beyond Fest.
Not wasting. We've been enriching our souls with one of our favorite festivals in Los Angeles. We got to go to see some amazing screenings at Beyond Fest this year. We got to see Howard the Duck, where Leah Thompson announced that she would love to direct a Howard the Duck sequel.
Yes.
Which we fully support.
We do.
We got to see I got to see Jackie Chan in person.
Yeah.
Beyond Fest is fantastic. The guys who put it on, it's at the American Cinematheque. Great. If you're ever in LA, or just check out their website. Go check out Beyond Fest. It's the best.
It is my favorite thing right now. Yeah. And so we were there almost every night, leaving our poor podcast listeners waiting. They just wanted to know.
It gave them time to figure out what the hell was going on in the Species franchise.
Yeah.
I think we might be able to help. I'm not sure.
Well, you know what? Why don't we try and find out by checking out Species 3.
It began when an alien life form was unleashed on Earth.
Mercy 6-2, come in.
Twice, mankind narrowly escaped annihilation. And now she's back.
Anybody, this is Mercy. Cargo's alive. Repeat, the cargo is alive.
In a brand new package.
You can read me over.
In the laboratory of a biology professor.
I'm hungry.
I'd be too if I grew 6 inches a day.
A secret project to nurture an alien life form is underway.
Are there others like me?
You're unique. And I think there's a message inside you. Someday you'll tell me what it is.
All right, we're back here. Species 3, you guys. This is the third film. I don't know if you could tell. It's hard to tell sometimes which one we're watching because they're all the same.
Although, I do love in this movie multiple times they're like, it's happened twice before.
Yeah. Just in case you forgot.
So the year of the film is 2004, and this was a TV movie that was then direct to video, I think.
Yes.
And although it was made in 2004, it takes place immediately after the final scene in Species 2.
Yeah, so let's give a real quick little rundown of the plot of this film. Basically, right before she dies, Eve gives birth to the 100% species baby that we were talking about from the last film.
Yep.
And the baby is recovered by Robert Knepper, who happens to be a biology teacher. He cooks up a crazy plan to study this baby who turns into a...
So one thing that I do like about his dumbass plan... okay, so it does end directly where Species 2 ends, and it ties in both stories with the cat doesn't come back, unfortunately.
Or does it?
Yeah, there is a cat. You're right. Oh shit, you're right.
There's so many callbacks in this film, you guys.
But... The weird boy who was in the ambulance, and
I was shocked that boy was there. I was
know.
like, there's no way they're going to acknowledge this boy. And then the camera turns, and he was right
oh,
there.
It's a boy.
He gained like 30 pounds, but...
It's not the same kid.
It's not the same kid at all.
And the kid is like a chubby little kid, too, whereas the former kid was not, so I don't know why.
I mean, it becomes a major plot point, but that's not important. Part of his plan is Naper's plan. His character's name is Abbott. Mm-hmm. He says that he re-references the idea that the DNA was sent through transmission.
Yes.
And he believes that there's still something to that transmission. There's something that we can learn. Which, from the last episode, I was complaining went away. When he said that, I was like, we're going to get more of it.
Yeah. So basically, we're here again on Species 3 with another film where it's all about who is the species going to have sex with.
Yep.
Can she have sex with humans? No. Can she have sex with half-breeds? No. So she's going to have sex with nobody.
Yeah.
Boring.
As Abbott says, essentially, she can't get laid.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And also it was a TV film, so she's not going to have any sex.
Right.
So yeah, I thought it was really interesting that they started off right where the previous film ended. Like usually with these, a lot of the sequels that we've been watching so far have just been totally like standalone stories or something.
Or completely ignored what happened.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I thought it would have been really plausible that they continued in the ambulance but didn't mention the cat or the young boy. But they did mention the young boy. I was really surprised. And I guess that Natasha Henstridge, she had signed a 3-picture deal. And so she was obligated to come back for this movie. And she just kind of does so in the very beginning ambulance thing.
Yeah.
She wakes up right where we left off, and she somewhat gives birth to like a bubble thing.
It was
and
so
then
gross.
has the baby in it. Yeah.
It was like this extending bubble coming out of her stomach.
It looks like a water balloon, though.
Yeah, it does.
It totally did. But yeah, apparently she was on the set for one day.
Yeah, and later in the movie, she appears as a corpse.
Yeah. And she apparently, in one of the previous special features, she said that she made some reference that she made as much money for that one day of shooting as she did on the first film.
That makes sense.
So,
but you know what, though? Even though it's been, how many years since Species 2?
I don't remember.
A while.
It was like 98, right?
Yeah.
I think it was 98.
She looks the same.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. They did a really good job, like, with her hair and the blood. And
It's-
everything.
I think she just hasn't
Oh, yeah,
aged
no,
that
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm
just
saying, yeah.
the actress herself.
Yeah.
One of the things that's really funny about that, and we can get into some of the, I was going to say, it's the things that are anachronistic. Anacracies? Anacracies?
Anachronistic.
Yeah.
They are called
anachronisms. Anachronisms.
Yes.
Welcome to Vocabulary Corner. Is it species
But
or species?
it's 1998, and then like they're totally on like a 2004 college campus.
Yeah.
And it's like the internet is like he's on internet porn sites, and it's
that was the part that didn't make sense.
so dumb.
oh, that was the part.
Well, I mean, time wise though, I
love so the filmmakers for this one, they said they made a concerted effort that like, the first two films, just like a lot of old people in those movies, like a lot of adults, like we feel like we're missing out on some of the younger demographic for this film. So we want to make this about college students and a younger species. But then there's a part in the film where she goes to this like fraternity party, and I swear to God, all the bros at that party were like 40 years old.
They really were. Although that did have a line in it that I thought that was a fun sequel line.
Yeah.
Where like there's a guy, he's getting a little bit too handsy with her, and then like he goes to kiss her, and then she like grabs his face, and then she says something like, "Oh baby, I was expecting some tongue," and like because the whole time you're watching that scene, it's like, "All right, species, I know what's gonna happen.
Yep.
She's gonna make out with this dude. His tongue's gonna go through the back of his head," and then she just says something like, "You don't want the tongue."
Yeah. I actually like that part, and yeah, I was in my notes. I was like, man, I wish the movie was just more goofy like that.
I wish the movie was that self-aware because like there was a self-awareness there that was really fun.
Instead, it's like super serious and
the
like,
score. Oh my god, the score is the saddest piano music ever in every scene.
It's all. I don't think there were any
notice
real
it.
instruments used. It sounds like a soap opera, and it was all like
Hey,
synths.
don't diss soap operas, okay?
Okay, well, there's a difference between they have to write music every day. The other people, for this film, the guy had to just write.
He had to write some music for a day.
Yeah, they had the composer for one day as well. Yeah. We should say that. So this film follows Eve's offspring,
Named after a pie.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah, she decides she wants to be called Sara.
Because nobody doesn't like Sara Lee.
Yeah, because this film is full of product placement.
There's because she. So yeah, this is how the origin of her name.
Yeah,
she sees a Red Lobster commercial on TV.
She goes, lobster.
and then
me hungry. Me want lobster.
And then Abbott either gets Red Lobster takeout or prepares a lobster dinner.
No, I think it was takeout. It was in foil.
Does Red Lobster? Oh, they probably do like takeout.
Yeah, why not?
But like,
I don't go to Red Lobster.
She ate the lobster tail like a corn on the cob. And
she
started
just bit
eating the
into
shell.
it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "No, we use forks and knives upstairs." And then she like gets angry and then just bites into it.
She goes,
like,
now.
like
No,
a
she
monster. I thought there was maybe some foreshadowing because you're showing like how you get the meat out of like the shell. I was like, oh, like she's gonna skin a dude, but
Ooh,
that
been,
didn't happen.
Yeah.
But then after like she's refusing to eat, he gets out a pie. I
It's
guess
like one of those frozen Sara Lee
cheesecakes or
cheesecake
something.
pies.
yeah,
Yeah.
which lends credence to my theory that he cooked that dinner.
Quote unquote cooked.
Yeah. And then she's like, Sarah, because she reads off the box, and then she gets her name from a pie.
Yeah.
Pie girl.
Yeah. That was a really,
That was an important
clever,
scene. That was an
clever
important
writing in that scene.
I'm glad we wasted all your time talking about that.
So her name is Sarah. The end.
So this scientist poses as a military guy. He gets the fetus.
Whoa.
and the baby.
Okay, hold on. This is where I was like, why was Robert Knepper even in that like army vehicle at all?
Yeah, because he wanted to steal Eve's body to study it.
I think he was one of the guys at the lab, but then there was no guys at that lab.
It's so outlandish because like he's just a teacher.
He's a professor.
He's a professor. He's a research guy.
He's just a professor. How did he infiltrate the army and then also
he's like,
be the
Robert
guy?
Knepper, okay.
He's going to be the guy driving the ambulance? Really?
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking that maybe he was like consulting, like he worked with the other doctors on the other projects.
He seemed to know all about the two past projects that are
Was
supposed to be
Ben
completely-
Kingsley Fitch in the first movie?
Yes. Yeah.
So like Fitch
knew
had
about
created
it.
Project Athena.
Yeah.
Yeah, did they ever call it Project Athena
No.
previous to this
Did
film?
they maybe in the first one?
I don't remember that shit at all.
Yeah.
They kept
Anyway,
going like...
that comes back. So like, he has some association with them. It doesn't really make sense why he'd be in the ambulance, but for this movie, larger conceits have been made for dumbass things.
Yeah, the beginning of the film also gives us a lovely recap for all the dummies out
Oh
there.
yeah.
Hey, did you watch Species 3 before watching Species and Species 2? Don't worry, we put in a scene for you.
Actually, that's really just, hey, are you a brand new 13-year-old and not a 13-year-old that was born in 1998?
Did you trick your parents into buying this unrated DVD?
What was it on? It was on Sci-Fi?
It was on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. How did you watch this?
I watched it on Tubi TV.
Okay.
Me too.
Was there nudity?
There was.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was curious because
because there would be multiple versions of it. That makes sense.
there's multiple versions of this film. There's the one that was on TV, and then there's also like the unrated version that was on DVD and everything.
Oh, yeah, there was a bunch of
that
nudity.
Wikipedia says has 1 minute of extra nudity.
Yeah, I think Tubi TV, this was my first time using it. It was pretty cool. It's got a bunch of, random movies on there, and you can watch them totally for free. It just has like commercials every.
And it was like
15
one 15-second commercials
really
were
short
pretty
commercials.
painless.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I was excited that there was more nudity.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, I was expecting there to not be any because it was a TV.
Yeah. When I
And then
heard
I
it
was
was sci-fi,
like-
and then like when they said "fuck," I was like, "Oh, good."
Yeah, and then she's like standing naked for like 5 minutes, and I was like, "What?"
Well, yeah. Why is that happening?
Because why not?
I heard the phrase "prick tease" for the first time in my
Yes,
life. That was,
yeah.
Oh
that's a good
yeah,
time.
that British guy.
Yeah, that British guy.
We get the repeat of a scene that's happened in almost every movie where, she starts hitting on someone and then wants to reject them and they won't take no for an answer.
Yep.
And this old guy makes this horrible comment, it's not polite to be a prick tease, which, okay, he's British, right? Maybe it's a British thing. I don't know, whatever. But anyways, then she kills him.
Yeah,
Deservedly so.
She kills him. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Anybody who gets rapey gets killed.
Not everybody.
Yes. But if only real life were so simple. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a weird thing. I mean, well, it's the Project Athena part of this, and we can get into that whole dumbness. But like, that's again, there's another like, I'm gonna rape you scene, and then like she just ends up fucking the guy. Then she kills him, but like they have sex first.
I don't think they fully have sex. I think
Wait,
that's just
who-
horrifying.
She's like pounding him on top of a toilet. Like,
Oh, you're talking about something. You're
Yeah.
like
Oh,
talking
that's
about
a
something
different
totally
character.
different.
no, yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I mean. But I was like, oh no, I was thinking there's another rape scene.
There is,
Surprise,
yeah.
Species 3, and then you're like, like this guy's gonna get it, and then it cuts to them like actually having sex, and then she kills him.
disappointed.
Yeah, that was really weird.
It's just like, which is another thing. Yeah.
Go on.
There's another point where Sara wants something we haven't even talked about, like Dawson's Creek dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name is Dean.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So there's a young associate from the college who's one of Abbott's students, and then he loses his funding or something, so he brings him on to work on the project.
He's working on a fusion reactor, which
so
is important later, I guess.
He's an expert in nuclear fusion and in, like, microbiology and DNA.
And only a student.
Yeah, and also physics.
So that means he's extra smart.
And he has a bad attitude and cool sunglasses.
Yeah.
And his friends call him Costello. Just kidding. That was an Abbott and Costello
Jesus
joke.
Christ. I'm not gonna
I hate
My
you
friends
so
call
much.
me Costello.
I hate you so
That never
fucking
happened in
much.
the movie, okay?
Hey, they know. They watched it.
Yeah.
Or did they?
So there's a point where Sara wants something from him, and then she's coming on to him, and he's like, "Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you're not attracted to humans." And then he says the thing that she wants. She's like, "Just think of it as like an exchange of goods." And you think of it like, because he's been having feelings for her this whole time, and you think that no, I can't do that. And he just goes, "Okay."
Yeah, he says fuck it or something like that.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah. Like,
she's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
don't you want me? And he's like, well, yeah, but why do you want me?
Yeah. And then she's like, let's just turn this into like a prostitute John type of situation. And he's like, yeah, I'm on board with this.
How much do you cost?
Yeah.
Let's do it next to the harp.
Which was really weird. And then they tried to continue on that they had a relationship kind of after that. And it's like, yeah.
And also the whole sex scene took place in a dark orchestra rehearsal hall where every light on the stand was left on.
Yeah.
The room was completely dark.
So
like, I was
stupid.
watching this with my roommate. Poor thing. I tortured her to watch this when we got home from a long day. And I had to watch this. And she was like, oh yeah, because every single person in the orchestra just left their stand light on. Like,
It's an orchestra full of rebels.
yeah.
We learn about some new species powers in this film.
We do.
Apparently, they can touch books and read them immediately.
Osmosis. They learn through osmosis.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like that. She could always learn from watching TV.
Yep.
That was established. But now she just touches a book about the rules of chess and instantly is like Bobby Fischer status.
Yeah.
Like,
She beats him in
chess
like
player.
3 moves. And then they fall in love.
Yep. It's a fireside chess scene.
Actually, I like that scene. It was funny because like the music was all like, we're falling in love. And then as soon as like she starts to be really good at chess, the music is like, dun dun dun. What the fuck? How does she know chess? She was just a baby the other day.
Which, even his desire to teach her chess is strange. I guess he wants to sleep with her. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, he's like more. He keeps trying to get into the like humanity or like feelings that she has.
Justin's just upset we're talking about this.
Abbott is like, don't talk to her. She's got no feelings, like, yeah. And he keeps like, he has like, Marge Helgenberger aspirations to like give her rights. And, yeah.
She doesn't even like humans.
Yeah.
Abbott does, like, he is a foil because Abbott is, like, this very hardcore science. Like, the first scene that we see him with him and Dean, he's giving this lecture about viruses. And then he's like, who are you to tell what species should live or die?
Yeah, and then
it's like,
Dean
he's a
gets
crazy
labeled as a speciest. And outside the classroom, some
Speciest.
guy pushes him. It's like, speciest! Like, he gets bullied by his classmates for being speciest.
Yeah, I
can't pronounce it.
like that Robert Knepper like yells at him in the classroom and like walks off, and Dean is just like, what? What the fuck just happened?
And then it's a hard cut, and they're just like, did he just leave the classroom?
Yeah. Because he's a cool prof.
He's the cool prof.
Yeah.
The whole time that he is taking, like, the Stannis Baratheon, like, we're gonna do this fucking thing in this way, and, like, I don't give a shit about, like...
And
like,
she's not, I don't think of her
like,
really
like she's
as a
not, like,
daughter.
he doesn't care about it, like, yeah, he doesn't care about anything or anyone, like, he just wants, I guess, a Nobel Prize, he just wants to be science famous.
He wants to join the pantheon of
Yeah.
great science people.
And he wants to do that by making a
Scientists.
super race of aliens.
Yeah. Can we talk about, I really did not like this movie. Very much. But I was especially mad about this whole half-breed thing.
Right, because
Yeah,
apparently they're really bad at their jobs in the first movie.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we talked in the ending about how, the writer of that film thought the ending was dumb with the kid. Okay, and then they continue the kid into this film. And he, in the beginning, runs off and you don't know where he is. He shows up again later as like this fucked up looking fat dude who like is clearly sick, and then he dies real quick because the half-breed is like a deficient version.
They don't have good immune systems.
Yeah.
So there's some cool visual effects. Like he takes off his glasses and the ear comes with it, and then it looks like there's someone threw a bunch of baking soda and vinegar underneath his skin.
At first I was like,
is that cool? Or is it just dumb and gross?
Yeah, it was kind of gross.
It's kind of gross, but like they built. I mean, it's a practical visual effect. It could have been.
But anyways, he dies, and I'm like, okay, fine. Half-breeds are done. It's done. But then it turns out that there's like a bunch of other half-breeds, and also one of them's a girl. Like, what?
The only thing I could think of was that he went out and fathered a bunch of kids.
Well, I'm sure he did, but then how?
I don't think that.
No. So
I don't think that's the.
I think he went on a Patrick-style fuck spree, right? And then all the wombs burst.
I don't know if that's what they were suggesting.
Right.
I mean, they didn't really suggest anything.
And then the
There's
girl,
just other half-breeds.
and then the girl wasn't from that. She was Project Athena. She was something from.
Really?
No, the girl was just another half-breed.
I think that she was No, because he said we have a problem with Project Athena with the government dude when they get in the car.
Yeah, because of Sara. They knew about Sara.
Okay.
I think, okay, here's another thing that I thought was dumb.
Like, either way, they broke their own story.
Yeah, and we don't know who these half-breeds are, and technically, all of them are related.
Right.
So, that's what's definitely weird.
The other thing I thought was funny, like, the whole time, eventually, there's, like, this fake website set up on the school server that's like, hey, my name's Amelia, and I'm looking for hot, smart guys. Send me all this science data so I can see if you're cool and we can meet up. And the whole time this is going on, and Dean's roommate is, like, responding to her and stuff. And I thought for sure that this was some fake website set up by the government to try to track down who had Sara, you know? Because they would get this, like, elaborate data that could only be from the species thing, and they would track him down. But no, it turns out there's a real character named Amelia who's another fucking half-breed, and I was just like, are you serious?
She's trying to entrap college guys that might be working on a project similar to Athena, I guess.
So the half-breeds are dying out, and then when they find out about Sara, they think that Sara can save them.
Or that, no, a scientist can save them by using Sara.
It's both.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But Sarah's like, I don't fucking care about you.
But all the male half-breeds are still trying to fuck her.
Yeah. But they're also her half-brothers.
Right.
Or nephews.
Family fun.
Yeah. They're her nephews.
We don't know how, species families work.
Patrick is the father.
Yeah, Patrick is the father.
That's true. Is he, though? I'm kidding. I don't know what I'm doing.
We really don't even know at this point.
We'll find out. We'll find out in Species 4.
Maybe.
I bet Species 4 is either... Oh, I guess we'll get to that part later.
But yeah, so, not much happens in this movie.
Well, okay, so Robert Knepper, when he first is raising Sara, apparently he has a cat, and I was like, oh my god, is this the same cat from the final scene? That's never explained. But the cat's name is Cat.
Yeah.
And so he comes home and goes, Cat, Cat, Cat. And then he sees the dead cat that Sara has killed, and he goes, oh, Cat. That's the other cat.
They did the same.
They couldn't even get, they couldn't even call him, Whiskers or something,
They did the same thing with Amelia. The actress's name was Amelia.
Amelia. Because,
the writers, they're just not like... What should we call this cat? I don't know. Cat.
They'll
be like, that'll be clever. Like, he's just so smart. He calls it by its, actual name. Because he's a scientist. He would use the genome name.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would.
Feline, whatever. I don't know. I'm stupid. I loved Robert Knepper's death scene. That was great.
The most overplayed death scene ever.
It goes on for so long, and his eyes are so wide, like, I'm dying.
So how he dies is that one of the half-breeds comes, and this is actually something that I thought was interesting, because it's the first time in a Species movie where somebody says the word rape. Where somebody's
yeah.
one of the
That's true.
half-breeds like jumps in and then Robert Knepper's like, I already have the eggs, we don't need her. I've rigged the whole lab with chlorine gas. And so like there's all
Which
this
is crazy, because until this point, you think maybe he does kind of care about her,
Right.
like a daughter.
Yeah.
But he said that he used anesthesia on her while she was sleeping and
Oh, yeah.
harvested her eggs.
Yeah.
Gross!
That was really
That was
gross.
basically a sexual assault,
That
by the
was-
way. Okay.
yeah,
That was real gross.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
He was
And
like,
then,
yeah.
but Dean's already developed feelings at this point, and then like the tentacle starts coming from the half breed, and then Dean's like, "Oh, come on, it's raping her!" And then he runs into the chlorine gas, and then like the movie just kind of forgets that there's chlorine gas in the room. It's just like, he's fine. Like the door's open.
He was holding his breath. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, but like the aliens are dying. Like they're having problems with it. And also, that shows you how much the movie has no idea how chlorine gas works. Because later on, they're like, oh, like, they have weak immune systems. We can, introduce any pathogen. And he's like, yeah, like what? Like chlorine gas. It's like, not like...
They should have brought back sickle cell.
Yeah, or like smallpox.
We still
It's
have
like-
some blood from that astronaut.
when the boy...
I've distilled the blood from...
when the boy showed up as an older man that was clearly dying, I was like, is this the first white guy to have sickle cell anemia?
Yeah.
Are these the symptoms?
No,
Like, I don't
he
even
was
know.
dying from dust or something.
Oh, and also when he tested that guy's blood, it instantly showed up on his computer. He
That's
had like
right.
an instant blood analyzer
Well,
on the computer.
that's 1998 technology right
Yeah,
there.
I guess
So the reason I brought that up is that's where Abbott dies. He actually ends up trying to help Dean, and then the hybrid kills him. And then Abbott has like a sputtering, like blood coming out of his mouth, like, you must create the species.
You must do it, Dean. Do it for me.
And it's like
Fuck the species, Dean.
It's like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So overplayed. And then it has like the super sad like
And then they go to the good old body dumping swamp, and he gets a Viking funeral for some reason.
They dumped so many bodies in that swamp. Like,
They dump multiple bodies,
Okay.
and then he says something like,
No, he says
I don't know the chemicals.
No, he says a bunch of chemicals, and he's like, hope you've been proud. Then he pulls a remote control, and then this raft explodes, and there's like red and yellow fire happening.
yeah.
Like he used chemicals to
He's like ammonium nitrate, carbofluorine, fluoride.
and then it explodes. But like, so this is right after where Sara, like, one of the things that Abbott says, like, there'll be more hybrids coming. Like, you have to do this. Like, you're in grave danger.
Dean, do it, Dean.
Do it for me, Costello.
oh god.
Do it for me, Costello. Make him laugh. And then he dies.
So then the Viking funeral happens, and then Dean walks back into the house, and he's like, Sara? And it's like, you didn't take her with you? Like you were just like, hold on, give me 4 hours so I can build this raft and rig a Viking funeral remote device.
That was so weird.
And then
I was like, what's happening? Why is he giving him a Viking funeral? Like, he didn't do shit.
Like, he tried to kill you, dude.
Yeah. I don't know.
So that was pretty funny. And then this is like, that's the point of the movie where things like the setup and the premise of this movie are bad, and then it starts breaking even the bad premises and setups that it had.
Mm-hmm.
Like the finale of this movie takes place at the fusion reactor that Dean worked at in the beginning of the scene.
The super realistic looking.
There was basically a bunch of extras, a computer console, and a green screen where they had a shitty matte painting behind it. And I don't know if I missed this when I was watching it. Like they're luring the female hybrid and Sara to the fusion reactor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna
Was their
kill
plan
them
to
in it.
kill them in the reactor?
Yeah.
I think so, because they...
And the eggs.
But did they say that? It's just like, they just cut to like, we're at the reactor now.
Well, I think it was because they couldn't figure out a different way to kill them, because she was like invincible, basically, because she
Right.
wouldn't die from just the normal...
They tried chlorine gas, and they were like, that's the only idea we have.
Yeah, because she was a more perfect species.
They
or
didn't
whatever.
shoot her once.
No.
They knew that both the half-breed...
They didn't try to burn her. Like, they really didn't try anything. They're like,
We
I
have
know.
to blow her up with nuclear bombs!
Like, I know, a fusion bomb.
Yeah.
They were going to throw the
In a
embryos
residential
down there
area.
so that both aliens would jump in there, and then they were going to turn it on and somehow kill them.
Yeah, it just kind of felt like, hey, remember this place from before? Like, we're back.
Remember those oil rigs at San Pedro?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
This was this sequence had one of my favorite parts in this horrible movie. There's like a 3-minute scene at the end where they're like fighting inside the reactor almost. They're like above the reactor.
And at this point, they're both in. I forget Athena's.
It's Amelia.
Amelia, that's right,
and Sara.
And they're basically in bad rubber suits at this point.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's cut where you can tell they can't really. It's worse than the cave sequence from the first movie.
Yeah, they had.
It's way worse.
For this one, they had. They had actors. They had 3 different suits for each character, and then they also had some like waist up puppets for close-ups. But
which one of our listeners did describe to us that we were describing fuck puppets wrong. They are indeed fuppets. That is the
sadly
proper term.
though, no fuppets in this movie.
No fuppets in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really, really made me appreciate, even though it was ridiculous, those fuck puppets, it really made me appreciate how much work they put into that second movie.
Excuse me, puppets.
The person jumping around in the suit just looks so lame.
It's so bad.
A lot of it was in silhouette, and I was like, it looked like Cats. You know, like the musical.
I would say that this movie was shot better. There's better acting in it, but at the end of the day,
this movie,
I would say than 2.
Well, everyone's better than Patrick, but everyone else
better acting.
Maybe not.
They're better than Patrick, but not better acting.
Yeah,
the girl who plays Sara is real bad.
She's awful.
Yeah.
And like on the Blu-ray, they're all like, "Oh my god, we saw her first, and we just knew right away she was so great. She was the perfect package." And I was like, ugh, really?
Yeah.
She has like no emotion.
Natasha Henstridge too. Like she's not. You don't look at her and automatically think like, "Wow, she's like a model. She's an alien species meant to seduce the men of Earth." You know, it's just like she's a cute girl, but it's not like
at like multiple points. Like for like the bulk of this movie, she's running around in Daisy Dukes and a pink tube top.
Yeah,
and like it's just like full on Britney Spears outfit.
Yeah, it was really weird. But anyways, I just need to.
Oh yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Go ahead.
Mention this part. Yeah. So like they're fighting at the top, and Dean's roommate and the dude from the army, I don't even know his name.
Military guy. Yeah.
They're both outside like, what the heck, Dean? What's going on? Like you gotta stop this because the fusion reactor is about to like blow up, and there's like a timer.
It like has the on sequence going.
Yeah, it's like ticking down, timer ticking down, and there's like this 3-minute scene where. The writer must have been like, let's see how many times we can say the word shaft. And the roommate's like, close the shaft, Dean! Just fucking do it, Dean! And he's like screaming, and then the army guy's like, he has to secure the shaft. And then I
laughed every time I said shaft.
Super seriously, the army guy goes, damn it, Dean, hold down the shaft. And then they cut back to them fighting for a second, and then they cut back to the roommate and the other guy, and he says, "Now, close the fucking shaft, Dean! Fucking close the shaft!"
And then Dean has like the remote control iPad type thing.
Yeah, Dean has a Newton
screen, and it's just like shaft, open, close, and he manages to hit it just in time.
And then it closes, and then like the guys outside are like, oh, what happened? And then like everything's fine, and then he goes, I guess he closed the shaft.
It's cut together so poorly because like, there's 2 of them in the costumes, they don't move very well, and so you can't tell what the fuck is happening. And so it cuts back and forth to like his stoner roommate who got him in this, who sent data off to this real Amelia person.
Yeah.
And I guess he was also super smart. It doesn't even matter. And this military guy how they got there, and so actually, I want to go back to how they got to this thing, because the military guy meets up with Dean, and he's like, I've dealt with this 2 times before. And he's the last time I got a $700 million, like, military budget. So he basically was saying, he's like, we don't have the money for the climax of this movie. Yep. And he's like, we're going to do this, we're going to deal with this unofficially. Like, right now, just you and me.
That scene at the end was so confusing. I swear that, like, I swear that Amelia fell into the shaft like
She
5
did.
times. And I'm
She
like,
does.
all right, she's dead. Let's finish this movie.
But that's the thing where it's like, so that the military dude and the roommate are there, and like all this action's happening is just cutting all these random things, and then it just cuts to them explaining what you just saw.
Yeah, so basically, Amelia and Sara and the embryo can, which is similar to the like Jurassic Park embryo can.
Yeah.
It's similar to that, but also similar to a coffee thermos.
Yes.
Yeah, also when it fell into the fusion reactor, I thought it looked like a dick. I don't know.
They all fall
Excuse
in,
me, Shaft.
it turns on, everyone's dead, great, you wake up and he's back in his gigantic dorm room with his roommate, and they're like, everything turned out
And he's
A-okay.
healing. Like, it looks like he's in a hospital bed, and then you're like, wait, is it in his fucking dorm? Like,
Yeah.
he is in his dorm.
So everything's turned out A-okay, and then all of a sudden, fake out.
All of a sudden, cut to a house 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 weeks later, Dean's roommate's walking into the house where the lab was.
Abbott's
Abbott's house, yeah.
Yeah, Abbott's house. And I was like, what is he even doing there? Like, why would he just be going in there? And
Maybe
then,
he left his bong there.
Yeah. And then he walks in the house and he's like looking around all quiet. And then he comes upon a young boy. And he's like, the fuck? Why don't you have a shirt on? I mean, he didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking.
I like how you made it sound like a Pokemon thing. It's just like young boy.
That's basically what happens. And he's like, oh shit, what are you doing here? And then like Sara walks up behind him and he's like, oh my god, she's still alive. And then he goes down into the lab and you see Dean like with his arms up to the ceiling and it looks like he's like tied up and he's like, I'm tied up. But then it turns out he's just changing a light bulb. And he's like, hey man, what's going on? He's like,
How many nuclear fusion alien biology experts does it take to put in a light bulb?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Apparently two.
Yeah.
Apparently two.
Yeah, and it turns out that Sara actually didn't fall, and he saved
They
her
go
life.
back and show the entire thing again.
Oh no, he goes, there's something I didn't tell you. And then
Yeah.
they show the entire sequence.
The whole Shaft thing all over again.
They take you back to Shaft Alley.
Shaft.
Shaft Alley.
So they cut back to... It reeks of a recut to me, because it's... The whole sequence from there is confusing.
Yeah.
And it's cutting away to the sequence of the action that's actually happening to have people explain it to you. Then that scene ends. Then you get one scene that's very, very quick. And then it cuts to another scene where someone explained what actually happened.
Yeah.
And then they go back to the scene that made no sense.
And he's like, yeah, you know, there was some half-breed DNA left over, so I just scraped off the bad part and, like, fucking make it.
Yeah, because, splicing DNA together is basically just like making a scrapbook. You know, you, like, cut out the part of the
That's
picture
right.
that
Yeah.
you don't like, and then put it together with another one, and paste it, put a couple stickers, and,
And
some
then
little metal charms.
One of the
with
things that
Michaels.
Abbott was super upset about in 1998 was that people were sequencing DNA. He's
Yeah.
like, what sequencing we should be manipulating?
Yeah, he's
and
like,
it's
what's even the point?
in 1998? Like, I don't know, man.
So you just do a little cut and paste, and then you get all the good parts.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I don't know, is there even, like, what else, is there even anything else in this movie?
Oh
other than
yeah,
the ending?
because then it
No,
gets...
you gotta talk about the bridge scene.
That's the ending, that's what I'm saying,
Oh,
other than the ending, is what
Okay,
I'm
well,
saying.
I will say, the college was the University of North Virginia, which makes sense because we're in DC last time, supposedly. But it is like, you know, every part of this movie that isn't at the guy's house is almost all of it is at USC. Like,
Oh,
it's
nice.
all USC. Like the place where they're always walking, that's like the main thoroughfare at USC, Truesdale. And then the building that they have the frat party in front of, that's Bovard Auditorium. It's like a huge flagship building, but they're just having like this frat party out of it. It's also the same building that Elle Woods in Legally Blonde has her dorm in.
Ah.
Oh, I knew
It's
that,
a giant
actually.
theater.
No, I didn't know that.
But yeah, and I think even some of the interior classrooms might have been some of the older buildings.
What
at
about
USC
the orchestra
too.
hall?
The orchestra hall, possibly. I think I might know where that is, but I'm not really sure. It's
That's
not an
funny.
orchestra hall. Though.
So
I think
it's
just
a
like
hard-hitting
room.
expose about how USC orchestra people leave their music light stands on.
It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, that was funny because it, the college parts was kind of like, that probably is what it's like at USC. Except it's at a frat house and not in front of the auditorium.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about some of the talent behind it. I mean, Brad Turner has a pretty successful...
Who's that?
He directed it.
Yeah, the writer and director both are doing big things.
Yeah, like Brad Turner has done episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., has done Wayward Pines.
What about the writer, Tyler? What did he do?
I'm not sure. I didn't look it up.
I know
He did
you
something.
did look it up because you told me.
Oh.
He's the writer of
Was it Source Code?
Source Code.
Source Code, yeah. Source Code and Flatliners.
Yeah.
The new
Which
one.
apparently was really great.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I heard it was terrible.
Sequel rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remake rights.
Remake rights. Yeah.
Ooh, good. He's also the writer of the next Species movie.
Oh, perfect. It's going to be great.
He has Species 3, Species the Awakening, Source Code, a movie called Boy Choir, and Flatliners.
I enjoyed
Sequel,
seeing,
Man Choir.
I enjoyed seeing Robert Nepper. I haven't seen him in anything other than Twin Peaks, so seeing this early performance.
He's
was...
Theodore Bagwell in freaking Prison Break.
I know, but I don't watch that.
That's like his main
I know.
thing he's known
I knew
for.
that was a thing, but I didn't know about
What else is he known for?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. But none of the other people
Transporter
have done
3?
anything.
Yes.
I know he's in that.
Send us your tweets for us to do the Transporter franchise because I want to.
Robert Nepper is back.
Apparently he was in the Hunger Gameses, but I don't know as who. Like, I didn't recognize the name of the character.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that.
So yeah, so he makes her a male alien who is a little boy, but he takes the time to say that it's a new strain so that they're not related.
Yeah.
But they definitely are related because everyone comes from Patrick. But I guess this is like a Adam and Eve thing, right?
Yeah.
We all came from Adam, supposedly.
He made her very own fuck puppet.
Yes.
Super realistic.
His roommate says.
That's super
The
real.
roommate's like, if you're in love with her, you basically just made her a boyfriend.
Yeah, he was like, can you believe we just went through all this and you kind of fucking made her a boyfriend in the end?
So they decide to part ways.
And then he's
this
like,
old bridge.
nah, bro. Which is like also like,
He's like,
when,
don't worry about it.
They go to the bridge from Stand By Me or
right,
whatever.
and like, when you go to abandon your alien friend, also like the boyfriend now looks like they're gonna go open their own yoga studio.
Yeah,
I was like,
he was huge.
Go fuck in the woods.
Yeah.
Be alone.
But so they walked him out to a train track, and they're like, go.
Yeah. And he's like, aren't you worried about them having sex? And he's like, I ain't worried, brah. I made him sterile. Fucking first thing I did. Snip the chromosomes. I think he said.
Is that how that works? Yeah, like, wouldn't he just, like, have Down syndrome or something if he, like, took a bunch of chromosomes out? Like...
Don't worry, bro. I made him have Down syndrome.
I mean...
Disclaimer, no one here at Sequel Rights is a geneticist.
Yeah, like, I don't understand. Like, you remove chromosomes to make someone sterile? Is that how that works?
I mean, he sounded pretty smart in the movie.
I don't know.
He was an expert in nuclear fusion and microbiology.
Yeah.
Do it, Dean.
Do it, Dean. Close the shaft.
Slice the chromosomes, Dean. Do it.
So he makes
He just hit the slice button on his little Newton.
Wait, did he hit slice or splice? Which one did he do?
Well, actually, he hit splice, and that's how that movie got made.
You first hit slice, and then you hit splice to combine them.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you hit Command Enter, and I think that's like prints it out. Right?
Yeah, you 3D print him out of some goop. One thing
I touched the manual on bioengineering.
No, I think maybe like
also that never comes back.
The male chromosomes, like, wouldn't it just be like agender or have like
no? I mean, he didn't say that. He basically just said I don't know. He said that he fucked with the DNA.
No, he specifically said I cut out the chromosomes.
Yeah,
like,
I think he does say chromosomes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
Life finds a way, man.
Yeah, that's true. Life does find a
So
way.
the other thing I thought was like messed up is, we've been watching all these movies. Yeah, he said here I have it written down. He says, I tweaked the chromosomes before I even started. So before he even started, he tweaked the chromosomes. So I think he was already starting when he tweaked them, right? So how does that even make sense?
Dude, it's
before he even started.
It's actually an allegory. Dean is actually God.
And then
Dean spells God backwards.
He puts on his sunglasses. And
He does.
Walks away, and
the Who doesn't even
CSI
start
Miami,
playing.
Yeah.
No, what he says is he's like, I'll buy a breakfast. It's my turn anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my beef with the ending. The entire series so far, we've seen each and every species character, like, walking up to dudes, touching them and being like, ew, you have AIDS. Ew, you have a cold.
Yeah.
You have sickle cell anemia gene. She doesn't, like, grab this dude's hand and go, ew, you're sterile. Wouldn't she be able to tell these things?
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I do like how he's like, Dean is just like laughing at them behind their back as they walk off. He's like,
Even though he's like,
I fucking made him sterile. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah, but like he's doing like this bro cowboy of like where he's like, no one deserves to be alone, bro.
Yeah,
where we're going, we don't need roads.
we don't need
It's just
sterile.
like,
Yeah.
it's so...
No, I didn't even think about that. Now I'm mad.
See, I was like, wouldn't she know right away that he was sterile and be like, fuck you? But I don't know. The other thing that I was like, did I miss something in this ending? So they're like slowly walking off, and the music is all like, you know, kind
Sad
of like
piano.
kind of like romantic, like da, 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 this is the end. And then like as it zooms up, it zooms into like one of the supports of the bridge that says 1902 for some reason, and it zooms in and it goes da 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 da. And then it fades out, and I was like,
What's 1902?
I was like, what's the deal with 1902? Did I miss something?
It was so weird.
Honestly,
like,
I think I got him into the bathroom and I didn't
It
even
was
see
like,
that.
it was like, dun, dun, dun.
I didn't understand it either.
1902.
I was like, why?
Oh my god, guys! The next one's called The Awakening.
Yeah, my mind was starting to just be like, wait, did we go back in time? Or what? Was there some significance? Yeah, was there some significance?
Doc Brown's train's gonna come chugging down the tracks there.
Oh my god.
I didn't get it.
I think that was just the bridge that they were on.
It was just bad editing.
And we weren't supposed to focus on that, but we somehow did.
Also, at the very end of the film, it says edited using Final Cut Pro.
Yep.
And I was like, oh shit, I could have edited this movie.
So what are movies normally edited in?
Oh, before that, I mean, people were actually editing, like cutting.
Well, yeah,
cutting
but-
actual film
Oh, so like, why would they say that in the credits?
because Apple paid them money. I'm
Yeah.
sure
Also, like,
they were paying like Walter Murch and like Avid was the thing before that. But like, I mean,
Oh,
there
yeah,
was
yeah,
like
you
like
said
online
that.
editors, but
the
Okay.
yeah.
in the special features on the Blu-ray, they kept talking about how like, oh, we were filming in HD for the first time.
Yeah.
For this film, and it was like a big deal. Like they kept going on and on. Wow, we had the budget to film in HD.
I
And
mean, the aliens just look like so lame in
Yep.
this one.
Yeah, well, they said that they made a concerted effort to go with a different design than the Giger designs.
So that they wouldn't have to credit him anymore in the credits?
No, I think, well, probably, but but in the special features, they were just saying like, yeah, we just wanted to do something different.
I mean-
and AKA make it look stupider and more basic.
There are some cool things, like Amelia whips a dude in half. Oh no, Sarah.
Yeah,
whips
I
a
didn't
dude
know
in
the
half.
Sarah
whips.
does.
The whips were sharp. She
Yeah.
like uses one of the tentacles to slice a guy completely in half.
Yeah, that was
Cut.
funny.
There's a really romantic scene where Sarah is because I mean basically as Abbott says, like she can't get laid, and so she senses some alien DNA and she runs after a train. She's like, "There's something I can fuck on this train."
Yeah. And then there was the one, like, it was a bad CG effect, but I thought it looked kind of cool because she's chasing the train and like falls, and the train like rips off her arm or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And she stands back up and regenerates her arm, and I just thought the way that like the skin
That
was
one
like
was okay.
the skin was like rotating around the bone as it came back, and it looked kind of gross.
It was a lot better than Patrick's head.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
was. And like, and when she's standing there with like half an arm, like that looked good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she like? It's unclear because you can't really tell. She's also like running from a car with like a alien enthusiast lady,
right.
But like, did she fall, or was she like trying to stop the train with her arm?
Yeah,
Like,
I couldn't tell. It looked like she
Grab
tripped
onto
and
it or
fell under the
something?
train,
Yeah.
kind of.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which like alien super race, she doesn't know how to run at full speed. Is
I
that
don't know.
Is that the? Okay.
Did they ever say they could run fast?
I love how we're all exasperated.
We're
with
just
this
like-
This movie was horrible. It was clearly the worst of the three that we've
Yeah.
seen so far.
Oh, yep.
So funny.
Yep. Buckle up, guys. I feel like that's
I
not going to
know.
get better.
This
There's
movie,
still one
I can't Think of
more.
one more. I can't think of one thing in this movie that was the redeeming quality. Like,
No.
I mean, it didn't have anything smart to say about anything.
Lots of retreads.
Yeah.
Someone did eventually get the tongue. We saw that, too.
Yep. I thought that the beginning of the movie was more promising than how it ended. I thought that when I was starting to watch it, I was like, okay, I can't believe we're back in the ambulance. Like, I can't believe this is happening.
If anything, it was almost like pro-rec. This movie made me wish they had just
retconned it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I just felt I was a little bit upset that Natasha Henstridge's character just dies like within 2 seconds.
Yeah.
She doesn't even say anything. She wakes up, kind of gives birth, and then that stupid fucking kid in the ambulance just like snaps her neck with a tongue, and I'm like, really? That's how she goes out? Like,
really? Yeah, that's
I
awful.
didn't feel like she never got to be a badass in any of the movies.
No.
Even though I feel like, you know, especially in the last one, you're like hoping for her to be a badass, but then she just like gets raped and dies.
Yeah.
I guess it's sort of, Dean was sort of woke in that he was like, don't let her get raped just because she's an emotionless alien. Maybe.
I guess.
I think that she was supposed to have emotion. I just don't think the actress was able to deliver on that.
Okay. Yeah. So they're like, have Nepper say she doesn't have any emotion.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see a movie, like, I like the idea of Nepper being a dude who's like, this is too important for science to ignore. Like, people aren't going to understand. I want to go forward with this, right?
Yeah.
Like, I could see that storyline playing out.
Oh, and by the way, when they... Did the movie... No, it didn't open on the fusion place, but it was like second or third one of the scenes. And so I was like, oh my god, maybe they're going to go back to the sustainable fuel from the first movie.
No, yeah, that was the same thing.
It was not related at all.
No, I just hope that the next film, they have to like, I feel like they need to come up with a different storyline, because like each film has been like kind of about, you know, how can we, we're gonna either stop them from combining the species DNA, or we're gonna combine the species DNA, or this and that. And I hope that, for Species 4, The Awakening, that I don't know what's waking up, but maybe we're gonna learn that there's a little bit of species inside everyone, and she's gonna start waking them up. I'm kidding, that's terrible. I hope that she comes back pissed off that her boyfriend was sterile and tries to fuck everyone up.
I mean, that's the whole thing. It's just like, it's an alien invasion, like, and like, we gotta stop them from fucking. Like, everyone's having sex, we gotta stop having the sex. Like,
yeah.
I don't care if we ever see any of these characters again. I hope that The Awakening is just like new aliens, like the same species, but them coming to Earth and being like, "What happened to all that shit we sent you? We're just here to follow up."
That would be awesome.
We're here to follow up.
Just checking. Like, this should be a utopia. Like, what did you do?
Yeah.
How will we? But if we don't pick up with Dean and Hutch. It wasn't him.
It wasn't Hutch.
I
would never noticed that.
It was something Hawkins.
I don't know.
I don't think I wrote it down anywhere. Yeah.
Hopkins.
I don't remember.
If we don't revisit, how will we know what they have for breakfast?
It's true.
We need to know.
No, we need to know. These are the questions I want to answer.
It would be really funny.
It's them at breakfast.
Yeah. Like the aliens showed up and they're like, we gave you the instructions for splicing our species with your species. It was supposed to be great. And the scientists are like, yeah, we did it. Look, here's what we did. And they're like, no, you read this backwards, you fucking idiots.
You didn't carry the two.
Yeah, you're supposed to put the A with the B, not the B with the C, you fucking idiots. Look, now we have a super species. Also, give me our infinite fuel back. You don't deserve it.
Yeah, seriously.
You dumb humans.
I want to see that. That's the one I want to see.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Well, I think I would ask what you guys thought of this film, but I feel like
it's pretty clear. I think that one thing that I want to talk about, just in case it comes up in The Awakening, is that a thing that happened. There was a color coding between Sara had blue eyes,
right,
and all the hybrids had red eyes. I'm pretty sure that was just a device so that you could tell the difference in the shitty costumes.
Yeah,
but maybe we will see a blue versus red war in Awakening.
And they'll overlap and turn into 3D. So.
I hope so.
Oh my god, that'd be stupid. I'd see it though. In fact, I am going to watch that movie. I think
The Awakening?
The Awakening, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it.
No choice.
I think I'm gonna watch it like pretty
The
soon.
movie adaptation of the feminist novella, The Awakening?
Based on true events.
Based on true events.
Species, The Awakening.
If there was a period species, I would be if the next movie starts 1902, I would be so happy.
Yeah, this film is so bad that it makes me want to be a speciesist.
You know what, Justin? You can't just decide what species get to live. And
I hate cats. I hate all cats.
I don't like cats named Cat.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
Well, if anyone has any chromosomal knowledge and can illuminate this for me, I would love to know.
Please don't.
No, I want to know. Like, I'm so confused as to how we do
The way you were referencing chromosomes in your previous podcast episode was woefully inaccurate.
I want to know that. Yes. I would love the professor from The Simpsons to email me. Wait, tell me.
You want it to be confirmed that what they said in the movie was bullshit.
Yes.
I can confirm that right now.
Please waste your important science time by watching Species 3. When you could be splicing chromosomes on your own free time.
Okay.
You just gotta hit that splice button, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us
Command splice. It's right.
just press the any key. Yeah.
Which one's the any key?
Yeah.
All right. I think we're gonna wrap up the Species 3 talk.
Yeah.
Happy we didn't have to see any more of Patrick.
That's true.
That's a redeeming quality of this.
Yeah.
The guy getting cut in half was fun.
Yeah. We'll be having gifts for y'all.
Yeah.
So email us your thoughts, sequelrights@gmail.com, or you can tweet at us at sequelrights, or like us on Facebook, facebook.com/sequelrights.
And we need your help. We need your help getting the word out about this podcast. We have a lot of great listeners already, but we want more. And we think your friends would like it. So please tell your friends, share about our podcast on, your own social media. Also, if you have any free time, please go on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you can and rate and review our podcast. Take 2 seconds, and it's so helpful for getting the word out and getting us into searches on iTunes and everything. That would be amazing because you guys are the best.
You guys are the best, and we've even talked about, actually I didn't mention this to you guys, but once we get way more listeners out there, or more listeners, that'd be cool. Maybe we might do this if we have enough people to start putting up Twitter polls in terms of movies that we should do next.
Yeah.
So we have a list going right now, and the more listeners we get, the larger our community gets, and the more fun we can have. So
that's right.
Write those reviews. It'll be a lot of fun. We have some ideas of what we're going to do next, but until next time, it's going to be Species 4, The Awakening.
Species 4. And thank you again, of course, to my brother Jordan for the music at the top of the show.
Thanks, Jordan.
And we'll see you guys next week for Species 4, The Awakening.